to your life. It's meant for you to learn something from it.
When you are with a good circle, good people, they will encourage you to do a lot of different things. But if you are with bad people, then don't tell me about that.
One thing it's crucial is the more you understand the knowledge and connecting with the right people, being part of the right circle, it's more important than the money you spend with. Sometimes you need to shift quickly, and also you need to understand where you are and the people you're speaking to.
Employee and business partner are two different things. Yes, you need to understand employee, but if you do not understand them, that's okay. Okay, you can live with it. But when your business partner, if you do not understand them properly, then your business cannot sustain in the future.
When you came out of the school, it doesn't mean that you stop learning. Everybody wants something, but what do you need more is more important. We all came into this life for a reason, and we need to learn from everything. Every person we meet, every relationship we have, and that's why attitude is crucial.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today's Innovators Circle podcast. And we have named it 𝐻𝐸𝐶ast in short form. I have recorded 3 other podcasts previously, and I wasn't thinking to get a specific domain name to host this program. Later, last couple of months, working with different teams, and I realized that, okay, why don't I give a name, build the sales funnel differently, and get this program to the next levels. So we're going to be doing 𝐻𝐸𝐶ast in professional manners, as well as bringing lots of professional people talking about technology, talking about artificial intelligence, sales and lead generation, marketing, business and finance, advisory, tax and accounting, and sustainability. So with Innovators Circle podcast, we're going to bring a specific person, and you can also ask questionnaire when we broadcast it. This is a recorded podcast, and we're going to be broadcast it later when we have a series of podcast recorded, and the timeline and all the schedules going to be going very soon. So today we have a special guest with us, and I will introduce him in a couple of minutes time. Before I introduce him, if you wanted to know more about 𝐻𝐸𝐶ast, please feel free to go to 𝐻𝐸𝐶ast.com. And if you wanted to book a session, podcast session with me and any of our other hosts, feel free to use the form over there, and we will contact you if you qualify for the 𝐻𝐸𝐶ast. So we're not going to delay anymore. I will welcome our guest today. So you have seen the guest. So we have Cristian Vayona, and he's an investor, as well as he's working in property market, the CEO and founder of the Lead2Leap, and he's working in many aspects. So if you name mentorship, business developments, speaking, training, development, so he's doing a lot of things to create the future expertise of different type of mentorships and so on. We are working together with the Sales Funnel Accelerator, supporting individuals. And Cristian, thank you very much for joining today's podcast. So I would ask you specifically if you would introduce yourself and let our audience know why and what inspired you to enter to the field that you are working.
Hi, Dr. Chuck. Thank you very much for, first of all, for having me as part of your podcast, the Innovators Circle podcast. It's great to be here, and it's a good question, which you get asked in many ways. Why you're doing what you're doing? So for me, to work in those 2 aspects of the business, is the mentoring and consulting side of it, but also the property aspect. It was kind of in a personal way, because what made me realize is that I love to help people build wealth through scaling and understanding how they can make that using different tools that I have available. So for me, it was moving from, 25 years experience in hospitality market, which I kind of allowed me to gain lots of knowledge and understanding on customer service and customer culture. It was a kind of an easy transition from hospitality into the property aspect. So it was just about providing that value to people. And I think that is kind of the core value of how I operate and how the business operates. We provide value and make sure everybody is happy towards the end of the transaction, rather than just focusing on, let's say, for instance, somebody looking to sell a property. We only focus on the seller. We focus on the buyer. We focus on the whole experience. That's the reason we're looking to provide the value for everyone. And that's where the combination between the mentorship and the property kind of just blends in.
That's fascinating, Christian. When we were specifically in the UK market or international market, usually I can see that many investors or many property developers, and as well as those people they are working in property, they do not have such diverse background that you have. And as usual, you train people to become a property investor, to become a mentor.
Yes.
You have chosen this rather than earning money and forget about creating future prospects.
Yes, I think it's very important, and that's what I understood from myself being mentored and coached by other people, that rather than looking on the short term making money right now, it's how do you create something sustainable. And from all the information that I gathered throughout the almost 48 years being on this planet, allowed me to understand that building wealth, and mainly through real estate, it's more beneficial than looking to have all this short spans where you can make money but they're not going to be sustainable. And we've seen this with the NFTs, we've seen this with the different cryptocurrencies and many other things that they've been coming and going. But one thing that is still part of all the people that are billionaires and millionaires, they all own assets, and mainly it's buildings or properties or anything, or land, which is something very close to my heart right now, because I'm very invested in land acquisition at the moment in different areas. So that's where people need to understand that building wealth for the long term is more beneficial than looking on how to make money quick, if that makes sense.
Thank you, Christian. It's a great answer. We're going to be jumping to many other questions to learn from you, as well as share your experience to our audience. And I wanted to share with our audience that Christian working in the UK, all over the UK, although he is living in north of England, I think not England, north of UK in Scotland.
Yeah.
But he can support you all over the UK and as well as international property market. So if you have any questions, any type of questions, feel free to contact him through LinkedIn and as well as other social media. And he will be happy to support you and train you and give you guidance if you wanted to enter in the field of property, and as well as mentorships and others. So I just wanted to ask you my next question. Could you discuss the key issue in your industry and explain how your efforts are making difference for clients and collaborators?
That's a very, very great question. And I'm glad that you asked, because it's right now, it's very much into people's radar. And one of the things that I realized and understood is that there are so many people out there, so-called gurus, and show them how to make money quick, or let me show you this great strategies that is going to allow you to make money, invest some, I wouldn't say numbers, because those figures vary from one guru to another. But what I learned is that one thing it's crucial is the more you understand that knowledge and connecting with the right people, being part of the right circle, it's more important than the money you spend with. And I've seen people, including one of my business partners a few years ago, when the money was spent for the program, which was supposed to bring lots of knowledge and expertise, and unfortunately it was the other way around. It was money spent for time rather than value. And that kind of triggered me to build Braveheart Property Group, which is focused mainly on bringing the less positive side of the property industry and investment in wealth, where you can actually start by educating people on the things what not to do or what to look out for, and how to get ready in advance for those times where things I might get wrong. And even with myself, we had the deal which we had it last year, and at the beginning where everything was great, but through the last 12 months, it was less than great. The good stuff is that a couple of weeks ago, actually last week, we managed to remortgage the property finally. And that also led to the end of that business relationship because it was just not in alignment and the information they would receive then passed on didn't work out. So just because you are in the industry for a long term or for a long time and have the knowledge, it doesn't mean that the deals, they're going to go smoothly. And that's one of the things where people don't understand. They're coming with this information given by these property gurus or coaches in the industry, which makes them think that everything's going to be easy. And we just kind of turn it on its head and say, look, let us show you all the things that might go in a different direction, how to get ready, how to create that contingency plan, and how to make sure that if anything goes wrong, you have those exit strategies which allow you to shift. So again, we're going about the value rather than making money, because the money are not important. And I connected recently with, speaking of Circle, from your podcast, with another Circle network. And that just shows you how, being in the right room with the right people, it accelerates your growth, accelerates your wealth, and accelerates the relationship you have with people. So sometimes you need to shift quickly, and also you need to understand where you are and the people you're speaking to. And I would say one of the things that I've learned from my own experience, listen to your gut, because your gut is always telling you if those people or those deals that you do in properties or in any aspect of the business are good deals, they are the right ones. So those are kind of within kind of long-winded answer to your question.
That was a great answer, I would say, Christian, because a few things that you mentioned here is very crucial for people to understand when they are working with individual. One thing that I have pointed to you, that you have to be in good circle, okay?
100%.
And some people, they will disagree with this, but it's up to them if they disagree. We give examples of bad apples and good apples. So if there is one bad apples, that will destroy all the good apples because the infections. If you have a cancer, if you do not treat it, that cancer will destroy you. It's just this. So when you are with a good circle, good people, they will encourage you to do a lot of different things. But if you are with bad people, then don't tell me about that. That's one thing. Another thing that you mentioned, gut, trust your instinct. If you don't feel that is okay, I would request any of our viewers, do not do that, because you have to believe your heart.
Yes.
And then doesn't matter you losing millions or you earning millions. If your feelings is saying no, don't do it unless you're going to be regret. So thank you, Christian, and thank you everyone for watching today's podcast. And I'm Dr. Shah Siddiqui from Sales Funnel Accelerator. And we are doing today Innovators Circle podcast, ICPcast, and I have Cristian Viona. He is a mentor, business investor, property investor, and he works with his innovation, Lead2Leap. And we're going to be talking more on these matters. Before I jump into my next questions, I just wanted to add some core information about this podcast. It is a tentative platform for anyone. They wanted to explore cutting-edge ideas, transformative strategies, and visionary thinking. So if you are thinking you need to know about technology, artificial intelligence, sales funnel lead generation, marketing, finance, business and advisory, tax and accounting, and sustainability, this is the right program for you. So each program, we're going to be bringing one special guest, and we will talk about their expertise, how they become successful, and a set of questionnaire that will enable you to lead the way of the future. And today we have Cristian Viona, and we're going to be talking about property. He's working mentorships and a lot of other expertise he has. And you know that we're working together from the Sales Funnel Accelerator to support individuals. And we're going to be continue growing this conversation to the next levels. And if you want to ask anything to Cristian, feel free to DM him from LinkedIn and all other social media. So, Christian, my next question to you would be, who are the clients you aim to help and what key benefits do you drive to them?
Very, very double-folded question, I would say. Who I aim to help? I think that's one a very important question on its own, because if you say everybody, then you're not very clear in who you're looking to do. I think from my point of view, the people that are looking to understand that wealth is built by assets, then those are the people that I'm interested to work with. And it's those people that are willing to learn, take action, and understand the market, rather than coming in, buy a product, and move forward and do it themselves. I believe, and this is going to just leads back into the second half of the question, the things that the benefits, the key benefits of delivering that is that we provide the value, and I'm always the front of providing that value by being, by holding hands to people, by understanding the reason for them looking to build the wealth, the goals that they have in mind, if they have any. Because you'd be surprised how many people, they don't have the goals. They have the money, but they don't, or they don't have the money and they want to make money, but they are not clear of the reason why. So this is where the mentorship, this is where the coaching comes into place, and the education of understanding why investing in properties, it's a good thing to do. And it's when I'm putting properties now as a main way of building wealth, but it's not the only one. For me, I just focus a lot on that because I have a passion for properties. I like to develop. I like to invest. I like to change and bring out the best out of that property, because I'm a visionary. So I can see things that other people cannot see, and that applies not just to properties, applies to people. And I have a few people that I work with, they couldn't see what I would see, and they didn't believe themselves. So the benefit is that this relationship, when it comes about wealth, it's not just about the wealth, it's about the personal and professional growth, and looking, like I said at the beginning, the reasons why you're looking to build this. Are you a good fit? Do you understand the benefits, but also the challenges of this journey? And are you willing to come here for a long term rather than a short term? Because it's easy to say, I'm coming in, stay for a month or 3 months, and then off we go. And I'm all by myself. But we both know that, left on your own devices, you turn back into your old habits and you turn back into your old routine. So then the easiest way when things are failing is to blame the person that was coaching or mentoring you, rather than looking at yourself. So we're looking to do like a deep introspective of the person or the business that we work with, so we can understand all these reasons to make sure that when we provide the service, the benefits, it's very tailored to that person, very personal to the person, if that makes sense.
Thank you, Christian. It was a great answer. And I'm going to be talking to you a few more questions before I jump into my questions. I just wanted to go for a quick break, and we will come back with after the break. Thank you.
To keep up in today's competitive corporate environment, you can't afford to fall behind. Here on the Innovators Circle podcast, you will find revolutionary ideas, game-changing tactics, and thought-provoking discussions. Each episode, we bring together industry pioneers, thought leaders, and business strategists to explore the latest innovations in AI, sales, marketing, finance, and sustainability. Key reasons to join: ICP Cast, exclusive access to industry experts, actionable strategies for business success, deep insights into AI, sales, marketing, and finance, a community of leaders shaping the future. Whether you're a CEO, entrepreneur, or industry expert, ICP Cast equips you with the knowledge and strategies to lead with confidence. Stay ahead. Book your cast today.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back after the break. So, you were watching today the Innovators Circle podcast, and we have Christian Viona with me, and we are talking on property business today, as well as mentoring and other aspects that Christian is working for a long time now. So, those you are watching this program, I just wanted to tell you that Innovators Circle podcast is a podcast for you to understand and many aspects of technology, artificial intelligence, sales and lead generation, marketing, finance, business advisory and development, tax and accounting, and sustainability. So we will bring insights from all of these fields. And we will have a special guest like Christian, and we're going to be talking a sets of questions for you to understand how they have made significant contribution to the community, to themselves, and supporting the future generation. So, Christian, I really appreciate your contribution today. And I'm going to be going to my next question. What makes your approach unique in helping clients achieve your set of outcomes?
Again, thank you, Shaq, for inviting me to your podcast. I think the uniqueness of what we do, it comes from that personal understanding of the reason people are looking to make that change. Because just because you said you want something, it doesn't mean that that's what you need. Everybody wants something, but what do you need more is more important. So coming with that approach of understanding and making sure that you do it for a person that is in front of you and not for you to gain something, it brings you more value. It brings you more a long-term relationship. That's what we're looking for. We're looking on long-term relationship rather than one transaction. If I have, and this is like between you and me, it's a perfect example how our relationship have developed through the years, because we started years ago and now we're here talking, collaborating, making that understanding that, the more you know the person and the reason behind it, and the more you know it on the personal level, the easier it's for us to provide you the best way. Because we're not looking, when we're looking at the wealth, we're looking at the family. We're not looking at the business. We're not looking at profession. We're looking at the personal and the professional. And sometimes we have clients, they pivot from one professional side to the other one. We have people that move totally in property from different aspects, including police. They just left the police work and slowly moved into the property side, because they give him the freedom, they give him the flexibility, they give him the thrill of doing what they do for themselves. So when we go with that approach, when we focus on what you want rather than what we want or need, then that is a very personal approach. So allows the people to feel valued, because the value is crucial in the whole process.
That's a great answer, Christian. My next connecting answer would be, are partnerships part of your business model? And from their perspectives, what benefits make you an ideal collaborator? I know we are collaborating, but this question is for you and the future collaboration that you wanted to tailor for your network.
Of course. No, and again, a really great question, because partnerships are crucial. And I'll give a perfect example, because we're talking about circles a lot. And recently I joined Circle Network and met with Jamie after being prompted by different people from my own network that we should connect, we should speak, we should meet. And I'm always reluctant to a certain extent when people go like, oh, you should meet this person, you should be all this. So I like to do my due diligence. But at some point I just said, it's time to meet with this person. So we met and we immediately just clicked. And to show you the benefits of partnering with the right people, within a few weeks, we started from talking over the phone to actually being part of a great event in Dubai not long ago, like a week.
Yes, I know, in last month.
Exactly. So, it shows that when you partner with the right people, things accelerate to that level that, everything just comes fluent, comes easy. You don't need to think about how you do it, because you complement yourself. You just allow yourself to understand the beauty of that business model. So for me, an ideal collaborator is somebody who's interested in grow more, in understands the benefits of personal approach, and like Jamie says, friendship before business. And I know some people say don't do business with friends, but when you start the relationship and understand the personal side of it, and you connect on the values and the way you think and act, then the business partnership create that level of connection, which is hardly broken. And I like the way the Japanese they're building businesses. When they meet for a business meeting, the only thing they talk about mainly is about the family, the values, the friendship, and all that. They don't talk about the contract they are about to sign. They don't talk about the figures or anything. And they want to understand, is this a good person to deal with, to have next to me, to introduce to my family, to my inner circle, or not? If the answer is no, then that deal, it doesn't matter how good that deal is, you don't do the deal. It's just like the principles are very clear. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to make sure that when we connect with the next collaborator, the next partnership is created, like you and me and me and Jamie and many other, like, me and Alexandra, so many other people that I can just mention. That's where you understand that the benefits of collaboration, it's crucial on the personal level.
I totally agree with you, Christian, because as you mentioned that you need to understand the person, or he or she will be your partner, future partner, business partner. If you do not understand them properly, maybe you can fail your business. It's not employee. Employee and business partner are two different things. Yes, you need to understand employee, but if you do not understand them, that's okay. Okay, you can live with it. But when your business partner, if you do not understand them properly, then your business cannot sustain in the future, because it's a family. Business is a family. It's your child. So if you do not look after the child properly, then it's going to fail anyway. So thank you for your honest answer. I will jump into my next question.
Okay.
Could you share your insight on upcoming industry trends and how you are adapting to remain ahead of the game?
And another great question. The trends, the property business, it's like a cycle. Every 10 years something happens. So I use the seasons. Property is like the season. You have the 4 seasons. Okay, you have the springs when you need to get ready for summer, and you have the summer when everything is going really well and you build the momentum and everything goes really nice. Then you have the autumn when you get all the results based on what you have put for the rest, the beginning of the year. And then you go into the winter time, where the property market or the investments or anything like that is shifting into a quiet time. That's time when you should get ready, get prepared for what comes next. It's like when you plan something, it's not going to happen overnight. It just takes that time. It's like, have a pregnancy. You can't have a kid overnight, right? It takes 9 months or whatever, how many months it takes. So understanding where you are in that cycle, it's crucial. And that's where you look at okay, so I'm here, how can I benefit more? Because especially when in the property industry, when you purchase the property, you have to have that understanding that the reason I'm buying this or land or whatever you're buying in the property, in the real estate, it's gonna give you at least 2 to 3 different exit strategies, we call it, where if one doesn't go right, then you have the other 2, or at least one. I always go for 3, but you should have at least 2 that you can shift and move. How you can adapt to remain ahead of the curve, and it's all about knowledge, and surround yourself with the right people. Learn and teach yourself, as well as being with mentors. I mean, I'm a mentor and a coach, but I have mentors and coaches and learn from other people. And look at how it works. We spoke about AI. We spoke about all the technology that comes in such a fast pace. You don't get connected and you don't get knowledgeable about those tools that you can bring to make your business more sustainable. Then I would say 5 years, it's a lot until you're gonna fail. You're gonna fail fast. So the thing is that if you do fail fast, fail very fast, but get back on the game even faster.
I totally agree with you, Christian. So we are nearly half of our time today, and thank you very much for your contribution and talk through your experience and expertise to our audience. And to everyone, thank you very much for joining today's podcast. And I am Dr. Shah Siddiqui from Sales Funnel Accelerator, and I have Christian Vayona with me today. We are working together from the Sales Funnel Accelerator, but as I interview C-levels executives for the ICP cast, I thought that, okay, it's better that I interview Christian because he has wealth of knowledge and we are working together and I know how he works. We've been collaborating recently, but I know Fiona for such a long time. As he mentioned that you need to know person first, then go to collaboration. I also do the same. I will know someone and then I will go for collaboration. Yes, if we do not have a good relation later, or if we wanted to exit later, that's okay. You have to have an exit plan. Christian, people, they do not understand and value that you have to have an exit plan. You marry someone, you love them, and you exit as well. So there is an exit plan from there. So when you have a good friends, you can be good friends, but if you're doing a business, if you do not have an exit plan, then it's going to be very difficult for you to go to the next levels. And if you want investments, people wanted to know they can exit, because if someone is investing you 10 grand and after 1 or 2 or 3 years, they wanted to know if they can exit and live with their money. That's another thing that a lot of people, they don't understand it. And if you wanted to sell your business, you need to have an exit mechanism built in within your organization that, okay, I wanted to sell this, and those people, they wanted to buy it, they will embed the exit mechanism of your business. Thank you for joining today's podcast. We're going to be asking more questions to Christian. And my next question is, can you discuss a major obstacles that you have overcome and the lessons you have applied to your professional approach?
Yeah, that's a very, very interesting question, because obstacles, there are many and they're happening every day, and the lessons are many and they're happening every day as well. So a major one, I think I will use, since was a big thing in 2020s, it was COVID, and
Yes.
that was something that kind of broke or destroyed fully many businesses. And during that time, I was working very invested in a big company in UK, Purple Bricks, and that was one of the things that I've noticed. Everybody was closing down. You're not allowed to go in, go anywhere. Business were shutting down. Restaurants and many other industry were affected. That's where the visionary kicks in. That's where there were also obstacles. They were like stopping a business. They were going really, really good and uprising at that time. So for me, was for okay, we have a big obstacle. We cannot meet with the clients. We cannot meet with a team, how we can make it better. So this is where my mind went into not just how we can make it better, but what was the exit strategy when this is going to end. So I was already thinking how I can plan to make sure that when this process, the COVID, because nobody knew how long it's going to take. I know everybody thought it was going to be a few months, and it went up a couple of years. But my mind was already planning. So it was a very difficult and strange obstacle, because none of us has been exposed to that. We've never been restricted by anything. You get restricted in like legislations and all that, but being fully the whole world to be a standstill and try to operate, it was a massive obstacle. So having the right mentality and see it from a different perspective and different vision allowed me to not just to keep the team motivated, but also to build the business to be ready for what comes next when we're coming out of this restriction. When applying those resolutions towards the end of this journey, when everybody kind of were unsure what's going to happen, it was very important. So for me, I understood what was needed, looking and expecting or listening to what comes from the body, the government, or news, or whatever you name it, instead of looking and say, so what are the options, what are the potential plans or potential exits. I think that's one key crucial thing, that if you make the plan and plan for failure first, you're going to be more victorious when it happens, because you already know what's the worst case scenario and you're ready. So anything better than that, it's definitely a plus. And for me and my team and the business at that time was a massive plus, because when the gates were open, as I like to say it, everybody just went panicking and hectic and getting people ready and trained. We were already ready. And we just took everything by storm, and we changed the whole market and became leaders in that market for many years. Even by very close to my departure, when I moved into running Lead2Leap and fully and building Braveheart Property Group, because I thought it was like this time for me to do it myself rather than build other businesses, which I will still do. It's a great pleasure of mine to do it. But sometimes you have to build your own vessel to change it the way you see fit, rather than try to explain other people, look, this is going to happen. This is where we're going. Can we go? I like to move fast and quick, because I think in businesses, but also in the personal life, the more prepared you are and the more ready and the quicker you shift and you pivot, the better it's going to be for you. So I think that's what I think on that question. I hope I answered your question.
That's okay, Christian. We're going to be talking more, and thank you. It was a great answer. So my next question to you would be, can you share a story of a particularly rewarding project or client success that highlights your impact?
I think what I talk about recently about, Purple Bricks was one of them. However, if you go into the individual basis, then I had clients, they thought that they are very little and they can't do much. And working together, and I mentioned this previously on the long-term relationship, after 4 or 5 years of working together, mentoring, they turn up to actually one of them running their own business very successfully within the property sector, coming from a financial background, nothing to do properties. I mean, connected properties, but not into properties, and running very successfully. I'm super proud of her. But also the person who said that she can only do little things to actually run the show and do exactly what I used to do. So they actually just shifting to I'm coming out to exit in my journey to move to the next level, and for her to actually sit in very confident shows you that's kind of level of expertise and support I provide and we provide to the client. So the impact is it's massive, because it changed people's direction from thinking that they're not good enough to become leaders, and from this is what I do now to totally like turning 180 degrees and say I'm going in this direction, and within a couple of years just like be very, very good in that aspect and in that industry. Or industry they had no knowledge or expertise, or very little expertise into it.
That's okay, don't worry, because 2 points here from Sales Funnel Accelerator. We support each other in including sales and marketing, as well as we technologically support all our business growth partners. So we are supporting Christian with the technology, building sites, web app, and so on. It's coming soon. So we're going to be sharing all the success stories over there. And we're going to be having more episodes very soon to talk about sales, marketing, and so on. But today we just talk about specifically on business development and sharing Christian stories with you, that you understand the depth of his knowledge. You understand how you can tailor the methodology to the next level. So everyone, we had a pleasant time today with Christian, and I have few more questions to ask. And if you wanted to contact Christian directly, you can DM him through LinkedIn and all other social media. And we're going to be going for another break, and we will come back from the break and we will conclude our program after that. So stay tuned and stay and have some break while we come back. Thank you.
ICPcast is more than just a podcast. It's an investment in your growth. Every episode delivers real, measurable value for executives, businesses, and sponsors. In each episode, we connect with industry leaders who share their success stories and strategies, including smarter decision-making. Discover how top executives reduce risks and drive business success through expert insights, gaining a competitive edge. Stay ahead of AI, finance, and industry disruptions with cutting-edge strategies. Maximizing efficiency. Learn how high-performing professionals leverage their time to make impactful contributions. Additionally, for our sponsors and partners, ICPcast offers unparalleled business opportunities, including building brand authority. Position yourself as a thought leader in your industry. Targeted access to decision makers. Engage directly with C-suite executives and influential professionals. Lead generation and sales growth. Convert sponsorships into powerful business opportunities. From strategic business growth to industry influence, every interaction with ICP Cast amplifies your impact. Are you ready to unlock new opportunities and scale your business? Book your cast today.
Thank you everyone for watching this podcast with me. And I have Cristian Bayona today, and we are talking about his work and his growth, and as well as the contribution he's making to the industry. And we have few more questions to ask. Cristian, thank you for your contribution today and talking to us for such a long time. And I hope we are recording this podcast later in the evening. So normally this time people will go to bed, but we are recording our podcast now. But when we broadcast this broadcast live on social media, it's going to be on the premium time or early afternoon, and you don't need to wait a long time to see this podcast. So Cristian, I have few more questions to ask.
Sure.
What skills and qualities do you believe have been the most critical to your success as an innovator in the industry?
This is a very interesting question, and I'm glad that you asked that question, because understanding the skills and the qualities that you need are not just crucial, but are very much has to be in alignment with where you're going. And the things that what I learned is that if you stop learning, stop educating yourself, then you're gonna be left behind. So one of the skills that you have to do is to a student for the rest of your life. When you came out of the school, it doesn't mean that you stop learning. And I left school many years ago, but for the last 18 years since I moved into UK, I never stopped learning. And I started with admin and IT, then I business management. I studied psychology, social science recently. I graduated finally. I had my degree in social science, but also I learned more and invested in my own personal development, into the mindset, into the attitude. So the qualities that you need is you need to have the right mind. I will say, without having the right mindset and the right attitude, you will fail. Because what more important is, it's how you react or how you respond. Mainly, not even reaction, is how you respond when the lows are kicking in. Like, remember we talk about the cycles. The cycles in the property is exactly the same cycles in life. When you're on that low end of the cycle, it's what are you doing then? It's so important. So that's why when we work with our clients and with my friends and family, I'm looking to see, okay, so how do you look at this? Do you see it as a problem, or do you see it as a way of learning? And when something comes and hits you, you're talking about relationship and personal and professional. When you exit out of a relationship, like with a wife or with a partner, personal or professional, that's going to hit you hard. It's going to be total breakup. It can be very mentally draining, and it can be many, your heart can be very affected by that, and that can put you down and keep you down. But understanding that everything that comes into your life, it's meant for you to learn something from it, rather than see it why me or why now. It will take you to that level of, I'm growing every day, I'm scaling, I'm building something to work. We all came into this life for a reason, and we need to learn from everything, every person we meet, every relationship we have. And that's why attitude is crucial. And it's part of the skills, learn every day. And the minute you say, I'm the best one, you lose already. Simple as that.
Cristian, that was a great answer. I was laughing because, self-trust is the core thing that you would do. If you do not trust yourself, you cannot be a great future. So the first thing I would do is to trust myself, trust my instincts, trust my fear, the work that I would do, trust my ability, and trust all the things that I do. Then I can get to the bottom of the things that I wanted to. I can achieve success. So I share my stories with people most of the time, that people didn't trust me that I would do it. but I trusted myself, and then I could do it. Otherwise, I wouldn't. That is very important. If you have any core skills, that's great. But you do not have to have core skills. You can grow them. You can develop them. Like you say that it's learning every day. Yes, until you die, until you have mental capacity, you have to learn every day, and that will not end. Christian, thank you very much for today's your contribution, and I also thank audience. You're watching this podcast. Please like, share, and comment. And we need your support. And with your support, we can bring more guests and as well as talk about more solving problems and real world problems. So next, we're going to be bringing another guest, and we're going to be talking to them to our set questions and as well as bring insights from every podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on social media, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and other social media that we're going to be broadcasting it on. And please leave a review. We need your support. And without your support, we cannot grow this network to the next levels. And if you are looking to get into the industry, if you are looking to extend your knowledge to the next levels, please visit our website, Sales Funnel Accelerator, and you will find the end-to-end 7-step process, and that will lead you to the success. So thank you very much for joining today's podcast, and we will bring our another guest. Until then, thank you. Bye-bye. See you next time.